And a legal battle is brewing this morning between the state of Texas and Harris County. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against a county program that was meant to help low-income families. Our Kathy Hernandez joins us live in studio with how local leaders are reacting. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Haley. Yes, tensions are increasing for sure between the state of Texas and also Harris County. Judge Lena Hidalgo tells us they followed the law when it comes to the $20.5 million program. And she's still concerned, though, that they'll lose the court battle all over politics. Judge Hidalgo and Commissioner Rodney Ellis introduced a $20.5 million investment program last year. It's meant to help struggling families by giving them $500 a month for 18 months for household needs. Families applied in January, and those selected were notified just last month. Payments had not gone out yet. Applicants were required to be 18 or older, have a household income at or below 200% of the federal poverty line, and live in one of 10 zip codes. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit yesterday saying the program is unlawful and violates the state constitution. Paxton released a statement saying, quote, "Taxpayer money must be spent lawfully and used to advance the public interest, not merely redistributed with no accountability or reasonable expectation of a general benefit. I am suing to stop officials in Harris County from abusing public funds for political gain." Judge Lena Hidalgo says Paxton is targeting Harris County.
The latest information that we have from our lawyers is, the state has filed here in Harris County, and then probably the judge will rule for us because the law is just so obvious and clear and in our side. But then the state will appeal it to the Texas Supreme Court. So anyway, this long story short, probably before the money is meant to go out, there will be a final decision. And unfortunately, because we live in Texas and because the Supreme Court is controlled by the far right, in the Republican primaries where all the far right votes, I'm afraid that they will feel they have to vote with Ken Paxton, who is the far.
And Hidalgo also said she is heartbroken because she believes many families had planned on that money coming soon. Hidalgo is expected to have a press conference at 3 o'clock this morning. Of course, we'll be there and keep you updated with everything happening with this situation. Obviously, an ongoing situation that we'll keep watching.
Yeah, and you mentioned that people were planning on this money. I mean, when they announced who was going to be a part of the Uplift Harris program, we heard backlash from a lot of people who thought that they would surely be chosen. I mean, there was one grandmother who was the breadwinner for her family and disabled and couldn't work. She thought for sure she would be chosen. So can you remind us how people were selected for this program?
And that's the thing. More than 82,000 families, they applied for this program, so it's tough to say. At the end of the day, Hidalgo says that the families were vetted. They had to provide documentation that they were, in fact, low-income families. They provided documentation, but then there was also 2 phases of a lottery. In the end, 1,900 families were selected. 82,000, 1,900. That is very tough. Obviously, we're dealing with, families that are struggling day to day, and we're probably all needing those funds for sure. But in the end, of course, for this lawsuit, it'll come down to what does the state constitution actually say? Can the county use these public funds for these individual families?
All right, Kathy Hernandez, thank you so much for that. And we'll be looking forward to hearing what Lena Hidalgo has to say in today's press conference. For now, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with